Well, hello there, friends. I know I have been absent for quite a while. You would probably think that I have abandoned my YouTube channel, which is not really the case. I have been working on several projects at once. I haven't forgotten about RoboCop or my intense love for the franchise and the characters of RoboCop and Lewis. However, the main topic of this video is not going to be RoboCop. I will start by saying that people keep asking me about RoboCop Returns if I know any updates about it. I don't know more than what you guys have been reading online, but you can read my latest articles about it on the website El Cine en la Sombra, which is an online Spanish cinema magazine I collaborate with. Now I'm a writer collaborator with those guys, and it has been a fun ride. Okay, let's put RoboCop Returns to one side. I really hope that the production starts next year. That's what I have heard. Then RoboCop Enhanced Reality. I haven't really completely stopped writing chapters, but I have been delaying a lot to release them. However, I'm embarrassed and overwhelmed to see the great response the website keeps getting, despite the fact that I have been very lazy to upload chapters as I used to. But here comes the thing that I want to talk to you guys about. See, over the last 8 months or so, I have been working on my first original writing project. I have been interviewed about this twice, and well, I thought it was time to say the news on my YouTube channel. This will be my first novel outside the RoboCop world, and the tentative title of it is The Black Butterfly. So I would like you guys to know a bit more about The Black Butterfly. You see, for a while, I had been writing short stories for Edward Neumeier. You know, he's my biggest inspiration as a writer, my favorite writer in the whole world, the robo love of my life. So I remember that besides the RoboCop fan thing, the teenager fan girl crush that I might have felt for him at the beginning, like, hey, look at my RoboCop illustrations and my drawings when I was a kid. I think that it came a time in which I wanted to show him that I could work on something else that was not RoboCop related. And just to amuse him, I started writing a few stories for him. Those were short, funny, romantic, sexy tales in which him and I became characters of fiction and we lived different adventures. I remember I kept telling Edward that now that I'm a grown woman, it was my turn to give something back and entertain him. And now I was going to be the channel that was going to make transmissions for him, and he was going to sit down and enjoy and be my audience. So I remember writing quite a few stories for him. I probably think he was amused, or I don't know. And I wrote, not only I wrote the stories, I created some illustrations that would go with them, and then I would choose a song for each story. So it was a fun game, but after a while, you know, every creative project, as small or informal it might be, always, you know, spawns, always creates or opens way for something bigger. So from the stories I wrote for him, I remember that one of them kept coming back to my head. In 2018, Ed went to the the Barbados International Film Festival, and that's where he said, or he told the world the news about him writing a new script for a new RoboCop movie, and we all know how that turned out. So I remember that I saw the pictures of the festival, and I remember I thought he looked so classy, almost like a movie star. Well, he's a celebrity, but I I felt like he looked like an actor, and I said to him, "You know what? You look so classy in your pictures. I imagine a story around it." So in my story, he's not exactly him, but it's a prominent man that looks like him that goes to Barbados and not to the film festival, it's another event, and gets to meet a girl, which is me under many makeovers, as you probably imagine, to make the story possible. And this girl is a high class escort looking for important men, you know, and sell certain services to them. So I kept telling him when I wrote the short story, the initial title of it was The Barbados Fantasy, and don't laugh, that I could imagine how she approaches him, with a red dress, looking beautiful, with a glass of wine. And this man is so polite and so classy, he invites her over his table. He knows what she is, and still he decides to embark on the adventure. So that was like a short story, but after a while it kept coming back to me, just like Enhanced Reality. I have been able to visualize RoboCop and Lewis just in front of me on the street, fighting crime or whatever, and that gives me inspiration to come home and start, hitting the keyboard. The same way Matt and Anna, which are the main characters of this story, kept coming back to me. I remember I was with some friends at this restaurant, and I kept imagining them, on a table that was ahead of me. And the conversation they had became more and more complex inside my head. So I remember messaging Ed and telling him, you know what? I'm going to turn the Barbados Fantasy into a formal, complete novel. And I hope you agree with it. And that's how it started. So over the last 8-9 months, I have been working on this without trying to detach myself so much from the RoboCop world. But every real life story comes with real life bad guys. And unfortunately, my story was not going to be the exception. A few years ago, when I was trying to publish Enhanced Reality, I knew there was a person that was not very keen on me creating this tribute to Edward Neumeier's characters. That led to a series of complications that I don't want to talk about, but that made my life difficult to some degree, especially because I have never made a dime working on RoboCop. My story has always been free for the fans to, have access to it. I don't hold any rights on the characters. The characters belong to MGM. So I should never, and I would never make money using RoboCop. Plus, the profound love and admiration I feel for Ed Neumeier has even stopped me from selling prints. I have never done that. So I kept wondering, why is this person envious of what I'm doing if I'm not making money with it? Unfortunately, now that I have announced that The Black Butterfly is in process to be published, this person, and I'm guessing that people around them, have come back to try to do the same thing. I wonder, why is it so important for this person to try to block my creative path? Trying to dim someone else's light doesn't make yours shine any brighter. So I have spoken with a few people, my lawyer included, and despite the fact that I'm outside the United States, I can tell this person, first, that I'm not afraid of them. Second, that if some portions of the story I have sent someone, his way, I get to see them published elsewhere, this person will get into serious legal problems. I believe I'm a creative worker like any other, and I have the right to get a work of fiction published. This is not an biographical project. It doesn't even hold the real names of Ed Neumeier, me, or the people that have agreed to become fictional characters in my story. So I hesitated a lot to make this public, but I believe that after 2 years dealing with the invisible attacks of this envious person that doesn't want to confront me directly and tell me what the problem is, I believe it's time for me to come publicly and defend my creative work and my right to publish whatever I want. So this person should know that I have been waiting for a face-to-face confrontation that I know this person will never give me because, I don't know, out of fear, cowardice, I'm not sure. But I want to say that the black butterfly will keep going on. And the same way that RoboCop Enhanced Reality has never been shut down by any of the important people that are related to the franchise in any way, this person has no power to shut down my project because this person for me is no one and means nothing. He's not someone that is really related or has been related to the RoboCop franchise. He's someone that just had the luck to relate to people that are or were involved in the RoboCop world. So I just want to say that I'm very happy to announce the news. I have been doing all kinds of work to sustain my creative projects. Look at this nice top. Now I have become a model for Pinneaple Clothing. It's a company from Miami. As a curvy model of large sizes. Plus, I keep teaching classes as a university teacher. I keep working as a graphic designer. And then at insane hours in the night, I keep typing my story. So not only nobody has financed my creative projects, so not only I have never made a dime working for RoboCop this long, I'm doing all kinds of work to not drop any of the things that I love. So I believe that no one has the right to come and tell me, don't make a tribute to Ed Neumeier. I believe that Edward Neumeier himself is the one that can come to me and say, Eva, it was fun when it was a private story between you and me, but now that it's public, remove the likeness from Matt, the character. Do not use my image. Do not put me in the acknowledgments. But in the meantime, he doesn't do that. In the meantime, he keeps receiving updates or illustrations or whatever, and he doesn't stop me. I don't think that anyone has the right to do that. So if you want a top like this or anything from the store, let me know. I have like a unique code as a model, 20% discount in the whole store if you want to get something there. Unfortunately, it's a store that is only for girls and little girls, moms and daughters. I'm single, I don't have kids, but some of my friends do, and they have been using my code, which is very nice. I will end this video by saying that RoboCop Enhanced Reality still lives, and I'm trying to not drop it. I still have the support from my friends that are the ones that are like that little conscience, the little angel that I see here on my shoulder, and they say, don't drop this project, don't drop this project. So Officer Down Part 2 will be released soon. Please don't stop visiting the website. Also, the public page of RoboCop Enhanced Reality on Facebook is open to contributions from talented people like you, RoboCop fans. So if you have photos of your 3D creations, if you have fan posters, if you have, I don't know, any kind of interesting thing, illustration, stories, anything you want me to publish, please send it my way. You are the ones that keep my pages and my website and my RoboCop and Lewis group alive. And I need your support. I believe that's the best way you guys can support me, by helping me keep all my pages alive. In the meantime, I finished my novel and I published it. I will finish this video by saying that I sincerely wanted people that when they knew about my novel, they were interested in buying it, in reading it, because I was a talented storyteller, not because it was involved and wrapped in controversy. But I can't really keep enduring this situation behind closed doors. And I believe I had to be honest with you, my friends, that have always been my supporters. So thank you very much, and promise you more RoboCop things coming soon. Bye, everyone.